Now live on YouTube, starting us up on Rumble. Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is about what happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history. Starting with, what do we got for October 19th, good Sir King?
You gotta start. I'm
All right.
finishing up here.
202 BC, that is before Christ, not this before Common Era crap. We have the Battle of Zama. Hannibal Barca and the Carthaginian army were defeated by Roman legions under Scipio Africanus, ending the Second Punic War. All right, I wonder if Africanus is where Africa comes from, at least a word, or if Africa, created Africanus. I don't know. Anyway, 439, the Vandals, led by King Gaiseric, took Carthage in North Africa. Darn you, Vandals, and your graffiti. 1031, Abbot Humbert of Echendracht Abbey opened the grave of Saint Willibord, founder of the abbey in the 7th century. Wow, wonder why. Like, exhuming the corpse, of somebody. And is the music a little loud? I'm not sure. I have it low, but I can probably make it lower.
I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
I can't hear it.
Okay. Well, I'll increase it a little bit, but it might get a little loud, so we might have to...
Wait. Hold on. I'm stupid. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Maybe a little louder.
A little louder?
Tight. Screwing. Just
okay.
Scooch. Let's just scooch.
How's that?
There you go. There
All right. 1030, or actually 1216 here, King John of England died at Newark-on-Trent and was succeeded by his 9-year-old son, Henry III. Now I think it's getting a little loud. Maybe it's just me. Like, see, it's picking up a bit. I don't know. If the music's loud, audience, let us know. I only have 2 sets of ears to help me here. Anyway, 1298, Rheinfleisch persecutions, 140 Jews of Heilbronn, Germany were murdered. Why? What happened? They don't wake up one day and just decide to do things like this. There's a tit for tat. But we're not allowed to talk about it for some reason. 1330, 17-year-old English King Edward III captured his mother's lover and the country's de facto ruler, Roger Mortimer, at Nottingham Castle, later had him hanged. Wow. That's somebody who didn't like their stepdad. 1386, the Universitat Heidelberg held its first lecture, making it the oldest German university. All right. I wonder if it's even still around. Universitat Heidelberg. Let's take a look. Is it even still around? Heidelberg University, yeah, founded in 1386, so it's still going on. That is an old university there. 1453, during the 100 Years' War, 3 months after the Battle of Castillon, England lost its last possessions in southern France. Yep. And I think we're going to be talking about the selling of something, or maybe that was yesterday, I'm not sure. 1466, the 13 Years' War between Poland and the Teutonic Order ended with the Second Treaty of Thorn. That's the Teutonic Knights. Look at that. 1469, Ferdinand II of Aragon married Isabella I of Castile, a union that paved the way to the unification of Aragon and Castile into a single country, Spain. Happy birthday, Spain, or, happy conception day, Spain, I guess. If countries can have a conception day, I guess this would be it for Spain. 1492, Christopher Columbus sighted Isabella, which is now Fortune Island or Long Cay in the Bahamas. All right. 1512, Martin Luther became a doctor of theology, specifically a doctor in Biblia, which I think is a city or something. He became a doctor in the city of Biblia or something. I don't know, or maybe that's what a doctor of theology was called back then. I don't know. You know what? Doctor of Biblia. Let me just look that up here really quick to see if it's a title or if that's where he became a doctor. Okay, so what does the Bible say about doctors? Well, that's something else. So, I don't know. If anybody knows a little bit more about this, if I'm wrong in my preconceptions, let me know in the comment section. Moving on up, 1576, Dutch provinces began consultation about Spanish existence. Here we go. You know, like questioning whether or not Spain should even exist. Yeah, here comes the Dutch with their windmills and clogged shoes. You know, better watch out. 1596, Spanish galleon San Felipe was shipwrecked in Urado on the Japanese island of Shikoku en route from Manila to Acapulco. Cargo was confiscated by local authorities. The incident did lead to the crucifixion of 26 Christians, who became known as the 26 Martyrs of Japan. Let's not forget, Japan just murdered in cold blood 26, Spanish white Christians and took their cargo, just fucking killed them, So, Zionism, right there. Actually, no, not Zionism. What's the word? I can't remember the word right now. But it's some form of bigotry. Anyway, 1630 in Boston, the first general court was held. All right. 1634, Beach Island in North Sea was destroyed by a heavy storm flood. Welcome back, by the way, King. Are you there?
Yep.
Okay. If you want to take anything, just let me know. We're now in 1722.
All right, 1722, French Sea Hotpfeffer patented the automatic fire extinguisher in England.
Huh. What's an automatic fire extinguisher? It's like I mean, I know that there's fire extinguisher grenades. Those are pretty cool, although they're not very effective. But, What else do we got?
1765's Stamp Act. Congress met in New York City, wrote the Declaration of Rights and Grievances.
I wonder what that entails. Declaration of Rights and Grievances, 1765. Let's see here. Okay. In response to the Stamp and Tea Acts, the Declaration of Rights and Grievances was a document written by the Stamp Act Congress and passed on October 14, 1765. American colonists opposed the acts because they were passed without the consideration of the colonists' opinion, violating their belief that there should be, quote, no taxation without representation, end quote. The Declaration of Rights raised 14 points of colonial protest but was not directed exclusively at the Stamp Act of 1765, which required that documents, newspapers, and playing cards be printed on special stamped in-tax paper. In addition to the specific protests of the Stamp Act taxes, it made its assertions which follow. Colonists owed to the crown the same allegiance owed by the subjects born within the realm. Colonists owed to the parliament all due subordination and various other things. Basically, it was just a way for the British to milk us for even more money. Ring out the colonists, nickel and dime. And people don't like that, and that's what led to the revolution, among various other reasons. But, the whole taxation thing was essentially the backbone. But, our very next article is the direct response, to that kind of ideology. What do we have in 1781?
British forces under General Charles Cornwallis signed terms of surrender to George Washington and Comte de Rochambeau at Yorktown at 2 p.m., effectively ending the American Revolutionary War.
Yeah. That's what we thought about your Stamp Act, you limey tea drinking Brits, kick your ass out of our country. Well, was your colony, but now it's ours. Moving on up to 1781, the Edict of Toleration issued by Holy Roman Emperor Joseph II, providing limited freedom of worship for non-Roman Catholic Christians. Hey, it's a step up, It's giving them, the rights that are God-given, Like, we're all on this earth together. We all have, a right to our beliefs, to our opinions. And, 1789, John Jay was sworn in as the first Chief of Justice in the United States. John Jay, Jingleheimer Smith? Hey, that's my name too!
Mm-hmm.
1812, Napoleon Bonaparte and his Grand Army began their retreat from Moscow, numbering just at 100,000, and they had started the campaign with 500,000. So that is that's a 1 in 5 loss. That's a that's an 80% decrease. Like, can you imagine like losing 80% of your forces? That's insane. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
Big number.
Yeah. What do we got here in 1813?
1813, during the War of the Sixth Coalition, unaffiliated, Napoleon was forced to retreat from Germany after the Battle of Leipzig.
Yep. So, exactly 1 year after he retreated from Russia, he retreated from Germany. So, Napoleon's on his downstroke here. In the year 1818...
U.S. government and Chickasaw Indians signed a treaty. Treaty what?
I'm pretty sure it's not helpful towards the Indians. That's for sure.
Probably not.
Let me do a surface level scratch on that article really quick. Treaty of Tuscaloosa. October of 1818, and ratified by Congress in January of 1819. Endorsed by President James Monroe, it was one of a series of treaties made between the Chickasaw Indians and the United States that year. The Treaty of Tuscaloosa was represented by Senator Andrew Jackson and ex-Governor Isaac Shelby to the Chickasaw. It resulted in the acquisition of the Jackson Purchase, which included extreme western Kentucky and most of the West Tennessee Division. So, what you see here in the red is, I believe, what we took, from the natives in this particular situation. So, yep. 1822, in Parnaíba, Simplicio Dias de Silva, João Candido de Deus e Silva, and Domingos Dias declared the independent state of Piauí. All right. Never heard of it, but cool. I'm all for independence. 1853, we had the first flour mill in Hawaii began operations. All right. Well, they need to eat bread too, So, and Hawaii, everything's expensive because you got to import everything. So, it's a good idea to start making your own bread on the island. I wonder when they're gonna start making their own milk if they have any land. Maybe if Oprah Winfrey and Mark Zuckerberg and Dwayne The Rock Johnson and all those people stop eating up all the land, the common people will actually have some land, for some self-sustainment. But maybe I'm crazy for thinking that. Who knows? What do we got here in 1856?
James Kelly and Jack Smith fought bare knuckle for 6 hours and 15 minutes in Melbourne.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hell,
that's how real men fight. You don't need those padded gloves. What are you, a liberal? Fight with bare knuckles.
Right.
Like how God intended. We got some space here.
1859. William Temple discovered diffuse nebula around Pleiad star Merope.
Alright. And diffuse nebula is not any specific nebula, it's a type of nebula. So I found here a list of diffuse nebula, but I'm searching specifically for diffuse nebula around Pleiad star Merope. I don't even know what a Merope is, but I believe this is what it's talking about if you're looking at my share screen. Nebula, is a huge thing of gases, the birthplace of stars, solar systems and all that jazz, galaxies. So I think this might be it. So they all kind of look the same, all these photographs. What else do we got here? 1864. Ooh, we got two of these. Actually, we got 3 64s, if you want to take them all.
Yeah, during the American Civil War, the Battle of Cedar Creek ended the last Confederate threat to Washington, D.C. Also in 1864, Confederate agents based in Canada robbed 3 banks in St. Albans, Vermont.
All right,
Ooh.
so that's pretty interesting. On the same day that we made our own problem no longer a threat to our capital, Canada was still suffering from problems. You know, it's kind of interesting. You know how the 9/11 people came in through the Canadian border, and we paid no attention to that border at all. You would have thought that we would have ramped up the the border after these Confederate agents came down from here and robbed 3 banks on U.S. soil. When are we gonna pay attention to that border, the northern border? It's a border. 2 years later, 1866, in accordance with the Treaty of Vienna, Austria ceded Veneto and Mantua to France, which immediately awarded them to Italy in exchange for the earlier Italian acquiescence to the French annexation of Savoy and Nice. It's pronounced Nice, I believe, like the female version of nephew. So not nice, but Nice. I put that in there in case you were reading that, so... 1870, first 4 black U.S. citizens were elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. All right. Good stuff here. And we also have the British steamship SS Canberra was wrecked off the northwest Ireland with the loss of 178 lives. Jeez. What do we got here in 1900?
1900. Max Planck discovered Planck's law of black body radiation. What is that?
Let's see here. Planck's law describes the spectral density of electromagnetic radiation emitted by a black body in thermal equilibrium at a given temperature at T when there is no net flow of matter energy between the body and its environment. Okay. This is beyond me. By black body, it's not talking about Africans. It's talking about like how this is a white body, or this, I guess, is a black body. Like the color of the thing. This would be a purple body. I see through, I guess. So I don't know. I'm no physicist. But yeah, Planck's law. All right. What else do we got?
1901, Albert Santos Dumont proved airships are maneuverable by cycling the Eiffel Tower in his airship number 6, winning Deutsch Prize and 1,000 francs.
100,000. Yeah. In Deutsch Prize. Deutsch is German.
Deutsch.
Yeah, Deutschland. Sprechen die Deutsch. So. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So he maneuvered an airship, around the Eiffel Tower. That's cool. 3 years later, 1904 here, we have the Polytechnic University of the Philippines was founded as Manila Business School through Superintendents of American C.A. O'Reilly. C.A. California? American C.A. No, it's not California, but what is C.A. O'Reilly? Then I get O'Reilly Auto Parts. Hold on a second. Well, I'm not going to figure that out. Anyway, what do we got here in 1911?
1911, Royal Mint in London sends dies for Canadian $1 coin to Ottawa branch.
Oh, that's cool. Well, now they can start making some $1 coins.
Heck yeah.
1912 here, Tripoli, now known as Libya, passed from Turkish, or was known as the Ottoman Empire at the time, to Italian control as a result of the Italo-Turkish War outcome. So, yep. 1 year later, 1913, at a meeting of the Natal Indian Congress, NIC, in Durban, NIC secretaries MC Angela and Dada Osman severely criticized Mahatma Gandhi and tendered their resignations. Okay, bye. All this guy wants is some peace. If you're not, about peace, then bye. Speaking of peace or lack thereof, 1915, Russia and Italy declared war on Bulgaria. That has to be during the First World War, you know? Well,
Yeah.
and while that was going on, U.S. bankers arranged a $500 million loan to the British and French, obviously for a war, you know? It wasn't until 1918, because we got involved in 1917, but it really wasn't until, actually no, we got involved in, 1916, 1917, but it wasn't until late 1917, early 1918, I believe, before our boots, the U.S., was on the ground. So, but what do we got here in 1916?
1916, France extended the formal recognition of a provisional government and Crete proclaimed Apollothoris Venizelos.
I'm gonna look that up here really quick. Okay. Proclaim. So that's the name of a guy. So he proclaimed. So pardon me. So Eleftherios Kyriakio Venizelos was a Cretan Greek statesman and prominent leader of the Greek national liberation movement. He is noted for his contribution to the expansion of Greece and promotion of liberal democratic policies. As leader of the Liberal Party, he held office as Prime Minister of Greece for over 12 years, spanning 8 terms between 1910 and 1933. During his governance, Venizelos entered in diplomatic cooperation with the great powers and had profound influence on the internal and external affairs of Greece. He has therefore been labeled as the maker of modern Greece and is still widely known as the ethnarch. Is a term that refers generally to political leadership over a common ethnic group or homogeneous kingdom. There's a lot of red flags with what I just read. Really eyebrow-raising stuff right there. And Greece isn't really doing too good of a job these days, and they haven't been for a long time. So, kind of makes you wonder. So, what else do we got here? 1 year later, got some aviation history.
I'm sorry,
1917.
1917, U.S. Army opened Love Field, a military airplane pilot training center in Dallas, Texas.
Ah, right. Cool. Yeah, because aviation really got started after the First World War. All the pilots and everything wanted to continue flying, so they literally just made dirt runways and kept going, and then that's what the aviation industry, that's how it all started. Pilots wanting to continue flying after war and all that jazz. Very much like how the space industry was formed after World War II. So, Uno Mas, 1919.
1919, first U.S. Distinguished Service Medal awarded to a living female recipient, Anna Howard Shaw.
All right.
Good for her.
Yeah. 1921, Portuguese Prime Minister Antonio Granjo and other politicians were murdered in a Lisbon coup, also known as the Bloody Night Coup. So if anyone wants to know a little bit more of that, check out the Bloody Night Coup. 1923, Ban Johnson persuaded American League owners to prohibit boxing in their parks. So, any park, reserved for baseball, they don't want boxing events or anything in there. Maybe because they don't want, such violence besmirching the sanctity of their diamonds. I don't know. But good old Ban Johnson, he wanted to first name boxing. Ban it. 1924, General Christian Workers Union demanded an 8-hour workday in Belgium. Well, I'd like an 8-hour workday. That'd be nice.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. 1926, John C. Garand patented semi-automatic rifle. That has got to be the M1 Garand, now that I think about it. Because that's a semi-automatic. So, yeah, the M1 Garand, there it is. As Patton said, one of the greatest military inventions of all time, the M1 Garand. The only downfall was that, the ping, after you've expended your 8 rounds, During World War II, the Germans figured out, oh, listen for the ping, and that's when you know you can get out of cover and start opening fire. And then by extension, the U.S. soldiers figured out that the Germans knew, so then they started carrying around an empty mag intentionally, and then artificially made the ping noise to draw the Germans out. And then, oh, got you, sucker! Blam, blam! Hey, war is hell. 1926 as well, Russian Politburo threw out Leon Trotsky and his followers. All right, bye, goodbye, fucking psychopath. So, but hey, calling the kettle black there, they're all crazies. But hey, at least they're trying to do what's right. What do we got here in 1932?
1932, Austria forbade demonstration by Nazis and anti-fascists.
They knew what was right back then. Why are we so slow? Like almost 100 years later, like 90. We're I can't do math right now. So what is 2024 minus 1932? 92 years later, and we still haven't figured it out. Like Austria was ahead of us by leaps and bounds. Oh. You got another 1930. Actually, you got two more. Perfect.
1932, British government signed trade agreement with Soviet Union.
Ooh, that's not a good idea. Never trust the Ruskies. No. That's a lesson we learned during the Cold War, and we've somehow forgotten. We got something from Henry Ford.
1933, Henry Ford gave his first radio speech.
Alright. 1933, the Berlin Olympic Committee voted to introduce basketball in 1936. Oh boy. Oh boy. So whenever you see basketball in the Olympics, you can thank Hitler for that. Oh my god.
Shit. Hilarious.
Oh my god. 1935, Mao Zedong's Red Army reached Shanxi in northern China. Yeah, they're coming. Yep. And in 1935 as well, the League of Nations placed economic sanctions on Italy for its invasion of Ethiopia. Oh, well, gee, look at that. Sanctions, on a white country. Nobody ever talks about that, sanctions aren't used as a weapon of warfare against any particular ethnic group, as opposed to what most people think about these days. It was imposed on a white nation for, doing things on a non-white nation. Nobody talks about this anymore. 1939, Hermann Göring began plunder through Nazi-occupied areas. Yeah. Those Germans, man, they just stole a lot of stuff. So, let's move on to the 40s. What do we got here? Okay.
1941, woman jockey in North America, Anna Lee Wiley in Mexico.
Yeah, the first woman jockey. So this is the first time a woman was a jockey in North America. And, this reinforces what I say, the completely invalid misnomer of calling the United States of America is ridiculous. America is 2 continents containing 35 countries spanning the majority of the western hemisphere of Earth. I know when most people talk about America, they talk about the United States of America. But, yeah, right here, exemplifies my point. First woman jockey in North America. Well, Mexico is North America. Canada is North America. 43? Oh, good luck pronouncing this.
Streptomycin, the first antibiotic remedy of tuberculosis, was isolated by researchers at Rutgers University in Piscataway, New Jersey.
Good job, dude. Like,
Oh, I've had my fair share of medication, so.
yeah, I was,
Yeah.
I was thinking that too as you were reading, and I'm just like, wait a minute, no, he's gonna have an easier time than me to pronounce this. Oh man, the amount of meds you take, dude, like you suffered, man, but like, keep on trucking. You are an
Oh my god, that
inspiration.
got me thinking so much more now.
Yeah, like keep on trucking,
Ugh.
man. You really are an inspiration towards me. The Loon and I talk about you, every now and then. Like, you are a tough sob. Tell you what. So
Thank you for that.
yeah,
Appreciate it.
I only say facts.
True.
Mm-hmm. What else do we got? Another 43 here. This one's really tragic.
1943, the cargo vessel Sintra was attacked by Allied aircraft at Crete and sunk. 2,098 Italian prisoners of war drowned within it. Oof.
Over 2,000 people who were captured. Like, like one way or another, they're prisoners of war. They're allies. So an aircraft, like it's an enemy vessel. You gotta sink it. It's that's just the rules of war. Like as I say, killing civilians wins wars, because it's not the soldiers out there growing the food. It's not the soldiers manufacturing the guns. It's the civilians. That's why it wasn't military bases that got bombed at Dresden and all that stuff, or Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It's civilians. You get rid of the manufacturing. Get rid of the food processing. You get rid of the fighting potential. That's just how it is. It's sick, but that's just how it is. And we had to unfortunately kill over 2,000 of our own troops. That's war, man. War is hell. 1944, the U.S. Navy stated black woman could join waves. That's awesome. That is awesome. It took a while, but and waves is specifically a Navy auxiliary branch. For women. Here we go. United States Naval Reserve, Women's Reserve, better known as the Waves, was the women's branch of the United States Naval Reserve during World War II. So there you go. I don't know what WAVES stands for. Let's see. Here we go. Woman accepted for volunteer emergency service. So there you go. You know how governments love their stupid acronyms. But yeah. So they're finally allowing black women into here. Yeah, at that time. That's about time. So. We also have the United States forces landed in the Philippines. Yep, Douglas MacArthur promised he'll be back, and he's the man of his word. He came back. Let's move on to 1950. We're making good time here.
1950, bird building at Cleveland Metro Park Zoo was dedicated. Cleveland, Ohio. Is that an aviary or something?
I'm not entirely sure. Like, the bird building at a zoo, it sounds like an aviary. I'm trying to find it specifically. But I'm not seeing anything specifying this article. I looked up the article, I'm not seeing anything, so I'm just going to go off on a limb here, on a wing and a prayer, so to speak, and say it is an aviary. But if anybody knows better, please let us know in the comments section. Speaking of comments, do we have any comments or even viewers? Oh, we have a couple viewers over on the Rumble section. Hello, people. What else do we got here in 50? Oh, you got two more. Perfect.
UN forces entered Pyongyang, capital of North Korea, ending the battle for the city, only to have the Chinese forces begin crossing the border.
Oh, here we go. Whoopsie doodles. Here comes China. Like, every time I read, like something like this, that one scene from the movie Wolverines comes out. Like, I thought, when he was talking about, oh, there's 500 million screaming Chinamen. I thought there were 1 billion screaming Chinamen. There were. Shit. Holy crap. Woohoo! Yeah. What else do we got here in 1950?
1950, Iran became the first country to technical assistance from the United States under the Point 4 program.
Now, what was the Point 4 program, some viewers may ask? Well, it was a technical assistance program for quote-unquote developing countries, announced by the U.S. under President Harry S. Truman in his inaugural address on January 20th, 1949. It took its name from the fact that it was the fourth foreign policy objective mentioned in the speech. So, here we go. Truman, he was a Democrat, right? Let's see here. A member of the Democratic Party. Yeah, there you go. So, once again, putting the needs of the external in front of the needs of the internal. So, people have got to realize you got to take care of domestic before you can take care of international. Because if your body is a husk, how are you going to help other people? It's basic stuff. Speaking of Truman, though, what do we got here in 51 to wrap up your turn?
1851, U.S. President Harry Truman formally ended the state of war with Germany.
Yep. So despite the whole 1945 and all these armistice and all that stuff signing, the United States and Germany specifically were at a state of war for another 6 years until this time. That's kind of wild to think about, that we could have just gone back in and attacked them, quote unquote legally, because we're still at a state of war. Oh. Huh. 1952, Alien Bombard departed from the Canary Islands on a solitary journey across the Atlantic Ocean with almost no provisions and only a sextant for navigation to test his theory that a shipwrecked person could survive. And I know what a sextant is. I'm fairly certain you do as well, King, but I'm not sure.
Measurement?
Yeah. Well, you use the sun and everything. I don't know exactly how to use it.
Yes.
Yeah. But, that's what a sextant is. Anybody watching who wants to know, what you've seen these, but you probably didn't know the name. Now you do. So
it's a stick in the ground. Right?
No.
Oh, what? No. That's a sextant for. Okay, yeah. A sextant is the ship used on the ship.
Yeah, they even made a joke about it on Ed, and Eddie.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it called again, Double D? A sextant. So. 1953, first jet transcontinental nonstop scheduled service. All right. It's pretty cool. 53 as well, dystopian novel Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury was published in the U.S. Yeah. It's another book I have yet to read, another movie I have yet to watch. But King and I watched 1984 a couple weeks ago. That's chilling, It's really disturbing to think that back in the day, people's image of dystopia was the government forcing its way into your life, and then nowadays you look around and you see people just opening the door and letting the government into their lives like a vampire. It's like things are a lot worse than what people thought they were going to be. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, 1954, we have the first ascent of Shoayu, the sixth highest mountain in the world, at 8,201 meters. All right. What do we got here in 1956? And I have a rant a little bit afterwards.
The Soviet Union and Japan signed a joint declaration officially ending the state of war between the two countries that had existed since 1945.
Yeah, so for about 11 years, they were still technically at war, very much akin to what we covered about, Germany and the U.S. for those 6 years. And that's why Japan surrendered to us. It wasn't the bombs. They weren't scared at all about the bombs. They were ready to die, but they knew that we wouldn't kill them all. They knew Russia would. So that's why they surrendered, because they knew that we were strong enough and politically, crazy enough to prevent Russia from doing what we did not have the backbone to do, or not backbone, but whatever. So they surrendered to the U.S. as protection against protection against Russia. So that's the whole point. And even then, for about 2 weeks or so after, Russia was still, making major headway into Mongolia and all that stuff to grab as much land from Japan while they could before we came in and said, "Hey, stop." So, what else do we got here? 1957.
Montreal Canadian Maurice Rocket Richard became the first NHL player to score 500 goals.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, hockey stuff.
That is a worthy achievement, sir. Congratulations.
Yeah.
1958, Sterling Moss won season-ending Morocco Grand Prix at Hendaye, but fellow Brett Mike Thornton took World Drivers' Championship from Moss by just 1 point, via finishing second. First British World Champion.
Dude, I don't understand auto racing. How can you win by being in second place, but you have more points? Like, they should just take the whole point system out. Whoever crosses the finish line first, that's the winner. That's simple. Like,
well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's kind of like, they'd go 5 laps.
Yeah.
And
well, that's where I think points come in, is the laps.
Yeah.
It's just confusing. Like,
I'm sure there's reasons, because we're not car guys, so we don't. What the hell, the fuck,
Well, when it comes to auto racing and all that stuff, I occupy the position of Eric Hartman. I'm gonna take a left turn. I'm gonna dip Vagisil because I'm
gonna go
stupid.
real fast.
Yeah. Oh.
I want to go fast.
Yep.
Shaking back.
1960.
1960, France granted Mariana independence.
Mauritania.
Mauritania. Sorry, Mauritanians.
Yeah. Well, there is a place called Mariana, so I just wanted to make sure we got the right country. I believe there's a Marianas Trench, so there's that.
Mm-hmm. I like you.
Okay, 1960 as well. Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested in an Atlanta sit-in. So we don't even need to understand why. Like, it's civil rights movement, all that jazz. While that was going on, U.S. imposed a near total trade embargo on exports to Cuba, but they still trade drugs and all that stuff. I mean, the politicians wanted those Cuban cigars, and they got those Cuban cigars. But rules for thee, not for me. As it always has been, but it doesn't have to always will be. 1966, number 4, Bobby Orr made his National Hockey League regular season debut for the Boston Bruins against the Detroit Red Wings. Yeah, Bobby Orr, another great hockey player there. Ice hockey legend. Not just a player, but a legend. 1967, Mariner 5 made a flyby of Venus. That's pretty cool. What do we got here in 68? We got 3 of them just for you.
1968, Derry Citizens Action Committee formed October 9th, staged illegal sit-down in Guildhall Square as part of large civil disobedience campaign.
So it says here, the Derry Housing Action Committee was an organization formed in 68, to protest about, housing conditions and provisions. It was formed by 2 socialists, oh boy, and 4 tenants in response to the plight of the homelessness and those tenants in the city who suffered from rationamenti landlords. Named after the Dublin Housing Action Committee, the DHSC's initial actions involved disrupting meetings of the unionist-dominated Londonderry Corporation to protest at the lack of housing provision in the city. So they wanted free housing, it sounds like. Typical, socialists and all that stuff. We want free things. Give us free things. We're gonna hurt the society until we get handouts. Oh, yep. What else do we got here?
1968, Golden Gate Bridge charged tolls only to southbound cars.
So basically, anybody coming into San Francisco is going to have to pay. Anyone going doesn't. That's unfair. Pretty sure both ways now have tolls, though.
Yeah, makes sense. You're using the road. Period. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, you gotta, keep that up, updated and all that stuff. Like, the bridge, the bridge gets painted all year round. Like, they start on one side of the bridge, they paint it, and by the time they get to the other side, they gotta start all over. It takes a whole year to paint that bridge. So, Uno Mod 68.
Zealand scored an upset victory in the men's coxed 4 rowing final, and in Mexico Olympics beat favored East Germany crew by 2.58 seconds. First ever rowing gold for the Kiwis.
All right.
Good man.
Yeah. Good stuff. 1970, John Fraser kills Osas, declares World War III has begun. What? What did I just read? Was that cricket? Let's see here. Also known as the Killer Prophet, was a U.S. mass murderer who killed 5 people in Santa Cruz County, California. Oh, wow, that's around here somewhere. He was the first of 3 men who would go on killing sprees in Santa Cruz County in the 70s. He was followed by Herbert Mullen and Edmund Kemper. What the hell is going on in Santa Cruz in the 70s?
What the fuck is your problem, man? Not too much. Oh, sorry.
I wasn't sure if you were talking about this guy or your dog.
It was a dog.
Yeah. But what the hell is this guy's problem? Seriously. So I guess he went on a murder spree and declaring World War III had begun, and that was his justification. So that's weird. 1971, a group of Northern Ireland members of Parliament began a 48-hour hunger strike against the policy of internment. And I'm completely against internment, so I agree with them. And Northern Ireland, the Irish have just been getting the shit kicked out of them for hundreds of years by the British. As I've said multiple times, Ireland and Scotland are the last vestiges, of the British Empire, and they're holding on to them with as tight of a fist as anybody possibly can. They don't want to let them go. And the United Kingdom needs to unite. They nobody other than the British even wants to be part of that. So, 1971 as well, the last issue of Look magazine was published. Look and listen. So, what do we got here in 1972?
1972, Ulster Vanguard leader William Craig spoke at a meeting of right-wing members of Parliament at Westminster. We are prepared to come out and shoot and kill.
Yeah, that was a quote by, this William Craig. We got to make sure, as content creators, we say quote in quote. So, we don't get quoted on somebody else's quote and have to suffer the repercussions. Legal crap. But yeah, this was his quote. And yeah, that's what I was saying. Let Ireland be free. Let Scotland be free. So, 365 days later, we got 273s.
OPEC oil embargo on the United States begins as participating nations ceased oil exports to the U.S. and begin a series of production cuts.
Oh, look at that. The U.S. being on the target of an embargo. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Also in 1973, Saudi Arabia, Libya, and other Arab states proclaimed an embargo on oil exports to the United States.
Yep. That went hand in hand with the article prior.
I'm like, did I just read that?
Yeah. No, they went hand in hand, but this goes into the specifications of what countries, at least a couple of them, were doing this to us. So, Saudi Arabia is not our friends by any means. So we got to stop working with them. Hell, they're working with China and Russia to make a rival petrodollar, and theirs is going to be backed by gold. They're going to win. So we got to do something about it. 1974, Niue became self-governing in association with New Zealand. All right, cool. And while that was happening, Virginia Slims Circuit WTA Tour Tennis Championship at Los Angeles Sport Arena. Australian Yvonne Goolagong won her first title, defeating U.S. Chris Evert 6-3, 6-4. Billie Jean King and Rosemary Casals won doubles. All right. And 2 years later, 1976, U.S. President Gerald Ford signed first major revision of copyright law since 1909. That sounds really concerning. You know, like what specific major revisions did he do? What changed? What was taken away? What was added? Copyright Act of 1976. Well, let's see here. Remains the primary basis of copyright law in the U.S. to this day. As amended by several later enacted copyright provisions, the Act spells out the basic rights of copyright holders, codified in the doctrine of fair use, and for most new copyrights adopted a unitary term based on the date of the author's death, rather than the prior scheme of fixed initial and renewal terms. It became public law number 94-553 on October 19th, 1976, as we just read here, and went into effect on January 1st the next year. So, history and purpose. So, yeah, I'm not going to read all this, but if anybody wants to know, you know, it's just search this up. So, 1977, the corpse of kidnapped West German business executive Hans Martin Scheiner was found. Yikes. 1977 as well, the supersonic jet Concorde made its first landing in New York City, a passenger-less test flight by Air France, 2 days after the U.S. Supreme Court overruled local authorities' ban. I don't agree with that. You know, the local authorities should have a say over federal to a certain degree. You know, federal governments, you know, be it the federal government of the United States of America or North Atlantic Treaty Organization, well, that's actually more of a military thing than government. So a better example would be the European Union. They're a system of checks and balances, not of dominance. They're supposed to make sure people are playing on a level playing field, not to dictate. But people have lost that reasoning. So, but what do we got here in 1980? 1980. Not, yeah. King?
Steve McPeak rode 101 and 9 inches. Wait, 9
101
miles?
feet, 9 inches.
Look at.
Yeah. Unicycle. Which is absolutely crazy. I don't think this is the right one because that does not look like 101 feet, but this does. What the hell is this? A three-wheeled unit. How can I'm trying to comprehend to say, how can there be a three-wheeled unicycle? The whole purpose of a unicycle is one wheel. Like,
yeah.
Are you seeing this on my share screen?
Hold no. Hold on. What? That's what? That's not a unicycle.
That's why my brain was not working. Like, it's a unicycle.
It's a tri-unicycle.
A tri-unicycle. That is not at all what I came here to see. I saw this, and this looks more like a 100-foot tall unicycle, a giraffe unicycle. But this is wild. Obviously, you know, this wheel.
I don't know. I think that's fair.
Oh yeah, so I guess you can have a spare tire.
If you're gonna call it that high, you have to be like high for I've got 3 wheels on it.
All right, what else do we got here? 1982.
1982, automaker John DeLorean arrested on cocaine charges. Not guilty.
Yeah.
Not guilty.
Poor DeLorean. Oh. That reminds me, though. Like, I posted this on Discord. I'm not sure if you saw this the other day, but somebody came up for a very fitting word to start calling these Cybertrucks. Deplorians.
DeLoreans.
Yep. Oh. 1983. We got two of them.
1983 NHL Philadelphia Flyers begin 13-game winning streak.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Also in 1983, U.S. Senate established Martin Luther King Day Jr. as a federal holiday, observed on the third Monday in January, or on near is January 15th.
Yeah. So that way they can have a federal holiday. It's on a Monday. It's consistent. You know.
Yep.
So that way they can have the day off. Like, if the 15th, you know, falls on a Sunday, you know, government already takes Sundays off for the most part. So, you know, it would be completely moot. They just want a reason to have a day off and still get paid for it. So, yeah. Leave it to our government to lean on the shoulders of a black guy to get free money. Oh. 1986, Alan Border scored the 1 millionth run in all Test cricket versus India in Bombay. That's a lot of runs there, a million. So, 1986, the USSR expelled 5 U.S. diplomats. Well, you know, that's what we get for working with the enemy. You know, as Patton said, we fought the wrong side in World War II. 1986 as well, the president of Mozambique and the prominent leader of Frelimo, along with 33 others, died when their aircraft crashed in the Lebombo Mountains. What is Frelimo? Let's see here. Frelimo is a democratic socialist political party in Mozambique. It has governed the country since its independence from Portugal in 1975. Well, that explains why Mozambique's a third world country. They're socialists. Oh, all right. 1987, Black Monday. Stock markets around the world crashed, including the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which fell 508.32 points, or 22%, which was 4.5 times the previous daily record. Yikes! That is intense. Like, I'm not really much of an economist, but that does not sound good. So, we also have U.S. warships destroyed 2 Iranian oil platforms in the Persian Gulf under Operation Nimble Archer. And what was Operation Nimble Archer? Let's take a surface level scratch of that article really quick. Operation Nimble Archer. It was an attack on 2 Iranian oil platforms. Yeah, the attack was a response to Iran's missile attack on MV Shah Al City, a reflagged Kuwaiti oil tanker at anchor off Kuwait, which had occurred 3 days prior. The action occurred during Operation Earnest Will, an effort to protect Kuwaiti shipping amid the Iran-Iraq war. Well, okay, that explains it. So there's the tat for tit right there. What else do we got here in 87?
In 1987, U.S. warship destroyed 2 Iranian oil platforms in Persian Gulf. Operation Nimble Archer.
Yeah.
Why we do
that? We just went over that.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Woody Woodward?
Woody Woodward resigned as New York Yankee GM. Lou Piniella was named GM, and Billy Martin was named New York Yankee manager for 5th and final time.
Yep. Man. It took him 5 tries to figure it out.
Yeah. 1988, Britain banned radio and television broadcast interviews with IRA members, Sinn Féin, and 11 Irish Republican and Ulster Loyalist Parliament groups.
Yeah, paramilitary.
I don't like censorship. Ew.
See, you're right there, and they're censoring because that's the Irish trying to get their independence, and the British does not want Ireland because they want to hold on to the last vestiges of their global empire with an iron fist. So, how do you?
I don't care what crazy shit they're trying to spout.
Yeah.
I get to talk.
Well, I mean, like, why are they spouting crazy shit? Because they're getting oppressed.
I'm not saying they are spouting crazy shit.
Well,
I'm just saying,
were,
even if they were like, they deserve to be heard.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, we have 288s for you. Actually, an 88 and 89 if you want to wrap up the 80s.
All right, here, 1988, South African anti-apartheid leader Sisulu won $100,000 human right prize.
All right.
Right. Hopefully, got into good use.
Anti-apartheid.
Hopefully,
Yep.
anti-apartheid. The good one. 1988 U.S. Senate bill passed curbing ads during children's TV shows.
So U.S. Senate passed a bill curbing ads during.
Curbing it.
Yeah, so preventing ads during children's TV shows, obviously because they don't want children to be targeted. And you know, look at the world
There should
around
be
you
zero
now.
ads.
Oh my God.
Should be zero.
Yeah. You know, whatever happened to the Calm Act? You know. Well,
That's why public television was so great.
mhm.
I mean, it was kind of milk toast. A lot of the shows you had to find a gem or two, but
Yep.
there was no commercials.
Yep.
Or I mean, they asked you for money every now and then, but that was about it.
Mm-hmm. Now this next one is actually gaming history, which we're still planning on doing that this date and video game in about an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's just skip over that. 1990, Dances with Wolves, not Wolves. Directed by Kevin Costner and starring Kevin Costner and Mary McDonnell, premiered in Washington, D.C., later to receive the Academy Awards Best Picture in 91. I saw that a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good film.
Yeah. We also have the longest NCAA football game at 3 hours 52 minutes as Rhode Island defeated Maine 52-30 with 6 overtimes. Well, how do you get a score disparity of 52-30 with 6 overtimes? Obviously, they were neck and neck for a while, and then they just went crazy. That's weird. I'd like to watch it myself if it wasn't almost 4 hours long. You know, that's a hell of a football game there. 1993, the United Nations, uninvolved in world peace, authorized arms, military, and police supply embargo against Haiti. Well, I mean, I support that at least, Like, the last thing we need to give to the Haitians is weapons. I mean, look at how well they're acclimating to us in Ohio. What do we got here in 93? Actually, we got that one. 98.
98. The Earth Liberation Front set fire to Vail Mountain Ski Resort in Colorado, causing $12 million in damages.
Yeah, because
That's
nothing says
very nice.
environmentalism like putting a bunch of carbon in the atmosphere through a fire. Gee. That really gets your point across, doesn't it, environmentalists? You freaking nut jobs.
Right.
But I have a question.
Like,
Do you believe in life after love?
no.
99. Come on. Don't make it seem weird.
Cher. 1999, Cher released a single, Believe. Billboard Song of the Year, 1999 Grammy Best Awards, Best Dance Recording, 2000.
Yeah. I didn't realize it came out that late.
Oh, yeah, my mom loves Cher. Ugh.
Cher's not bad. I like that song.
Ugh. Oh,
She
gives me shivers. I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I can see why people. I'm not so far away as I can't see why people are a fan. I see why people are a fan, but.
Well, I mean, she looks like a prototype to what.
I don't care what she looks like. Her voice doesn't hit my eardrums right.
Maybe that's why she needs all that auto-tune. And this next one is a game, so let's just skip over that one. What do we got in the year 2001?
Oh, Steve X, an Indonesian fishing boat en route to Christmas Island carrying over 400 asylum seekers sunk, resulting 353 deaths. Oof.
A death is a death. It doesn't matter if it's one death or a billion. A death is a death. It's tragic. At the same time, if you lack the backbone to stand up for your own land, then you waived your right to have any sympathy aimed towards you. Simple, you know? So, and, you know, I'm kind of like a living embodiment of that. Despite everything I've said and all the stuff, you know, I want to get out of California, I'm still here because I'm fighting the good fight, you know? I've lived my whole life here. This is my world. I'm not gonna let it get taken over by a whole bunch of crazies. I'm gonna hunker down and fight. So that's all I can do. Anyone who's too cowardly to stand up for their own, you know, for their own world does not deserve to have one to stand in. Simple as that. So you know, if you're an asylum seeker, if you're a refugee, if you're any of that, and you're fleeing your land because you can't fight the oppression, you'd rather, you know, live on your knees and die on your feet, you're less than human. I'm sorry. You know? Stand up for what you are. Simple. Moving on up in 2003, Mother Teresa of Calcutta was beatified by Pope John Paul II. Alright. As she should. You know? It took a while, but, you know. 2004, in Myanmar, Prime Minister Kinin Nyunt was ousted and placed under house arrest by the SPDC on charges of corruption. Oh great, let the taxpayer foot the bill for that. No, execute these guys. So, what do we got in 2005?
2005, Hurricane Wilma became the most intense Atlantic hurricane on record with a minimum pressure of 882 MBs. What's an MB?
Barometric or something? Like, I'm not sure. What is MB pressure? What is MB in pressure? MC pressure. Wait, MC or is MB? MB. What is MB? Not MC. MB. Atmospheric pressure. Also known as air pressure or barometric pressure. So MB, I guess, stands for that. I'm not sure if I'm even searching for the right thing. Oh, mean sea level pressure, MSLP. So, hold on a second. Control F. MB. I'm not finding anything. So I don't know. If anybody watching knows what MB is specifically, let us know about that. What else do we got here?
Sorry, what?
2005?
Saddam Hussein
Yeah.
went on trial in Baghdad for crimes against humanity.
Good. And what did they do to him? Did they throw him into prison? Did they put him under house arrest? Did they do anything to him that required taxpayer dollars? No! They executed the fucker! They know what to do. You know? Like... Oh. Then we got a bunch of video game stuff, so let's move on up to 2010. Decca Records released The Union, a collaborative album between Elton John and Leon Russell in the US. It became the highest charting album for both artists in over 30 years. Alright, so clearly the people wanted to hear them both. Good stuff. A lot more video game things here. So, 2014, what do we have? This one's kind of creepy. Okay.
What? 2014.
14.
A working human intestine was generated in a laboratory from stem cells in the United States.
Whoa.
No.
We're building people. Like,
It's crazy.
yeah. Whoever says that people aren't being cloned is completely out of their mind. I mean, prime example is the whole Kanye West thing. He's obviously cloned. A lot of celebrities have been cloned. What's his face? Kevin Hart might have been cloned. So, 2015, Canadian federal election, Justin Trudeau, the son of Fidel Castro, his Liberal Party won a majority with 184 seats. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he stole it. That's what those people do. You know, the lefts, the Democrats, You know, the liberals, the socialists, the communists. All they do is steal, lie, and cheat. And then, then they project and blame others for everything that they do. Oh. 2015 as well, scientists from the University of California found evidence that life on Earth may have begun 4.1 billion years ago, which is 300 million years earlier than previously thought. All right. And we have some propaganda here, 2016. If anybody wants to read it, they can just pause the video and see this, but this is all bullshit. We're going to move on up here to 2016 as well. That's video games. So what do we got here in 2017? New Zealand.
New Zealand Labour Party formed a coalition government led by Jacinda Ardern, 37, youngest New Zealand leader in 161 years. Oh my god. And her inexperience shows.
Yep.
Clear.
Very much
Clear.
so. Very much so. Yep.
Unfortunately.
She has the liberal smile. I'm from the
She checked
government, and I'm here to
all
help.
right boxes though.
Yeah.
What could go wrong? She checks all the boxes. Yay! Oh wait, where's all my money going?
Why are children voting?
Wait.
Yeah, they.
Why is a man following my little girl into the bathroom?
Oh, it's okay. He identifies as a woman. It's fine. He's okay. 2018 Halloween film reboot starring Jamie Curtis made a record $77 million for a horror film with a female lead. Largest debut any film with a female lead, over 55 in the U.S. Cool. Okay. Then we have some more video games. 2019, Chilean President Sebastián Piñera declared a 15-day state of emergency after widespread and violent protests over a rise in public transport costs. Well, people got to be able to afford to get to work to make the money to be able to get to work. I mean, look at New York. They're having a serious problem right now. With all the people who are, jumping the turnstiles and all that stuff. Not paying to get into the buses. Like, there's a very real possibility that New York City, Manhattan, might not even have a transport system this time next year. We'll see. We got 3 more 2019s just for you if you wish. Good Sir King?
Yeah. 2 more, he said?
3.
Sunnyside?
Starting with Sunnyside, yeah.
Sunnyside, Queens, New York City, intersection of 46th Street and Skillman Avenue, named Ethel Plemic Way in honor of longtime resident. Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet old lady named Ethel.
Yeah.
Ethel Philmack.
Yeah.
Remember Ethel Philmack? We go down the Ethel Philmack way. Dude, man, that's awesome.
I don't know why, but I have a feeling that
You know
there's
what?
always, every
They didn't
morning,
have to do that.
every morning there's a fresh batch
never-
of chocolate chip cookies on the corner right
Man,
there.
I look forward to this stuff. Yeah, it's only
Yeah.
7. It's this. Yeah. Hey, we're still good in the world,
Yep.
Yes.
And that was only 5 years
for that
ago.
stuff. Yeah, I know you guys scrape for it sometimes, but little goes a long way.
Yep.
2019 UK Parliament voted for the Let Win Amendment in the special Saturday sitting, which forced Boris Johnson to ask the EU for an extension and delayed vote on his Brexit deal.
That guy was just hell-bent on destroying Britain,
Yep. That he was.
Now, I know you're probably not going to want to read it, but, I think you'll enjoy my comment at the end I posted.
Let's see. U.S. Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez
Girl, baby,
endorsed
girl!
Bernie Sanders for president.
Remember those two losers? Girl,
Yeah.
baby, girl.
Don't even play. These people are in power. 2020 Belgium officials stated country facing a tsunami in China virus case amid new restrictions and figures it has third highest number of Kung flu related deaths per 100,000 people globally.
Because they marked literally everything as that lie. Like, I spoke to somebody who worked in the ER at one point, and he told me a story about one of the many examples I have. This just being one, of this particular incident. Somebody got hit by a truck, and I don't mean like a friggin' Ford. I mean like truck, big truck. And obviously he didn't make it, and they marked his death down as COVID. He got hit by a fucking truck! So of course the numbers are gonna inflate if you lie to that degree. Push the agenda. So 2020 as well, the Irish government moved the country to highest levels of pandemic restrictions and rising cases, mid-rising cases. There we go again, more of this crap. We also have Ming hand scroll painting, 10 views of Lingbi Rock by Woden, sold for 512.9 million yuan, or 77 million US dollars, at auction in Beijing, a new world record for a classical Chinese work. And let's see this this painting. I want to check this out here really quick. So 10 views of Lingbi Rock. Let's see here. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Like, sold for $77 million. I wouldn't spend that kind of money, but then again, the entire art industry is a giant, money laundering scheme, So 2020 as well, Peru announced a rediscovered 37M figure of a cat, I guess meter, completed between 500 BC to 200 AD, which is a geoglyph outline in the Nazca Desert. Okay, so Nazca Desert cat. Let's see here. Nazca Desert cat. Oh, wait, what? That can't be real. That looks fake. This can't be real. Are you looking at this?
What the fuck is this?
That can't.
Sorry.
This can't be an actual. I mean, it's there, it's real, but this can't be an ancient Nazca line.
There's no way. It would be better. It would be better.
That's way too internet.
No.
Like,
that's not an Aztec line. There's no way. The Aztecs would. Get the fuck out of here. Have you seen the Aztecs lines? They're not crooked. They aren't. No.
Well, no,
These
it's
are
not
made
the
by idiots.
Aztecs. You know about the Nazca lines?
Nazca. Sorry. Nazca lines.
Yeah.
They're not Nazca lines.
Yeah.
They look like garbage. I mean, look at these. Nazca lines are beautiful. Look at this. Look at this.
I don't see.
Art.
Oh, wait.
Beauty.
Would this be the cat on the right next to the spider? That kind of looks like a cat.
Like a deer.
On the right here?
Yeah. Deer.
Huh. Alright.
Deer without the antlers.
Every time I see this one, though,
Some
in the
other
middle,
animals.
every time I see this one, I think of Jolteon, and this one looks like Ho-Ho.
I look at that as like an electrical signal, kind of.
Ah.
How they measure. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah.
Heartbeat,
Oh, yeah. What else do we got here in 2020? U.S.
U.S. charged 6 Russian military officers with massive cyber attack meant to disrupt 2020 Tokyo Olympics, 2017 first presidential election, and Ukraine's power grid.
It's always the Russians' fault. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure.
That's yes. Definitely.
Oh, speaking of Russia, we have something in Moscow next year.
Ooh, the Olympics?
2021 Moscow.
Oh. Oh, okay. Moscow's mayor ordered unvaccinated people over 60 years to stay home for 4 months amid worsening China virus. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and now, you
Should
know,
all stay home because you're.
because they
What
want
is
them to die.
No. What was the word? What was the word?
Non-essential.
There you go. You're not essential.
Yeah.
Stay home.
2022, Massachusetts named Podokesaurus holocosis, swift-footed lizard of Holyoke, as official state dinosaur. Okay, so Massachusetts has an official state dinosaur. Let's take a look at this beast. Okay, so this is the official state dinosaur of Massachusetts. That's pretty cool.
Looks fast.
I don't know why Utah doesn't have the Utah raptor as their official state dinosaur. Like, Utah does have an official state dinosaur. It's not the Utah raptor. It's weird. Oh.
Well, the Raptors.
Yeah.
Like, it's a basketball team.
Philadelphia Phillies right-hander Aaron Nola faced his brother, San Diego Padres catcher Austin Nola, in first MLB playoff sibling pitcher-batter battle. Austin went 1-2 with Raleigh starting RBI in 8-5 win at Petco Park in San Diego. That's pretty cool. And actually, would you like to sign us out today? Since I took the last article?
Alright. And that concludes the show. Once again, check the underbar description below for any links that you may be interested in. So much history continues to be on the daily basis, and we only bring you a small portion. Check the sources out for more. You always do your own research. We highly recommend you do so. For your dose of past events dailies, we stream every day at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 11 Mountain time, 12 noon Central, and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. We also have other shows from history to news, movie reactions, reviews, gaming, video games, memes, Omni Kitchen, and everything else in between on the TOC show. Check the underbar for all you and all of us. I am your host, King's Refuge, and
Hey, Xander.
alright, show's out.
And you viewer, thanks so much for watching, and until you catch us next time, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!